It's over, folks. The Bears season comes to an end in the divisional round of the playoffs. My name is Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. The Rams squeak one out 20-17. And quite frankly, the Bears should have won this game. I thought the Bears outplayed the Rams in a lot of areas, but they made way too many mistakes. And even though the Rams didn't play that well, they did not have the critical mistake. Bears had 3 turnovers, also failed on a couple other fourth downs. The Rams did not turn the ball over. And in the end, that was the difference. There's a lot to discuss. Caleb's stat line, incredibly misleading. I actually thought he played pretty well. Thought he got let down by people around him. And unfortunately, you waste a pretty damn good performance from Dennis Allen's defense, which sucks. But let me know from you guys. Who do you blame for this loss? If you have to pick one person, who would you pick? Who would you blame for this loss? I hate to do this, and I hate to blame a guy who fought to get back, who has a stress fracture in his foot. Odunze killed you tonight, man. He just did. You know, I know some will say Ben, some might even say Caleb. I think that opening drive, you get a good return. You get a nice little chunk play on a boot to DJ. You get a couple first downs. Caleb throws a really nice ball to Odunze. He tries to body catch it, and he doesn't squeeze the ball. It would have been a touchdown. Early 7-0 lead. Just set the tone, crowd rocking. A few plays later, you go for it on fourth down, and Caleb's picked off. It's just, football is such a momentum game. It's such a psychological game. Rams go straight down and score after that, 85 yards. I mean, a 14-point swing like 7 minutes into this game, it just kills you. And look, 2 things can be true. I give Rome a lot of credit for playing hurt. I do. But a foot injury is not why you drop a football. He had another big drop later. That would have been a first down. He had a bad false start that Caleb ended up throwing a bad pick the next play or 2 plays later. That's not a Rome, but turns into a 2nd and long, and, you know, Caleb forces the ball. That pick's on Caleb. I'm not saying it's on Rome, but, like, he made 3 or 4 really bad plays tonight. And, again, I appreciate him playing hurt, but he's way too talented for some of these drops he's had this year. At the point of attack, he's got to get better. And a couple of his catches, the 2 catches he had were high, and he goes up strong with his hands, and he squeezes it. You got to attack that football on that throw. Caleb threw it on the back hip shoulder area to avoid a hospital ball, and he tries to body catch it like this, and it just goes through his arms. It was such a killer early. And, you know, we're doing the watch part, and everybody's in the chat, second half team. Eventually, though, you can't bank on that stuff. It's a 4-quarter game. A major error early can cost you late. And that play, it just felt like they just couldn't quite get over the hump after that. To their credit, they responded. They tied the game up at 7. It was 10-10 for a while. That's not the only reason they lost. But it almost feels like if they jumped on them early there, that they might have run with this game. Matthew Stafford was not good tonight. He wasn't. He was not good. He was 20 of 42. Your defense held them to 17 points in regulation. Under 4 yards a carry. Stafford was missing throws. You're getting pressure. DA's dialing up blitzes. All things considered, I thought it was DA's best game of the year. You outgained them by like 75 yards. But the Odunze drop, the inability to convert in short yardage. You get stuffed on 3rd and 1. You get stuffed on 4th and 1. You could argue after that Rome drop, when you ultimately get to 4th and 3 and throw the pick, do you just take the 3 there? I can hear that. I'm not really going to hear the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 stuff. It's a 49-yard field goal in those conditions. Cairo can certainly make that, and he's proven he probably would make that. But you got to get a yard, and you can't do it. And it kind of popped up down the stretch of this year. This was not a good short yardage offense. As good as this offense was, they were not getting push in those key areas up front and in those situational moments, which was unfortunate. You lost this game because you had about 5 critical errors. Rome had a couple of them. You can't convert in short yardage. Even though the defense played well, it could have even been better. The Bears got so unlucky the last 2 weeks with turnover luck. I think they forced 5 fumbles or 6 the last 2 games, recovered 0. I mean, that's almost unheard of. They strip sacked Stafford twice. The Rams recovered both. Tipped multiple balls in the air. Couldn't quite get an interception. It felt like if one 50-50 play would go their way, they would have won this game. And listen, it's been a year of like 30-70 plays going their way. Hell, that touchdown by Caleb Williams to force overtime is a once-in-a-decade play. And you got a quarterback who can deliver those. He made a lot of them this year. And that's exciting as hell. And I can't wait what the future holds for Caleb Williams. I think it's one of the more misleading stat lines I can ever remember. Rome had multiple drops. We'll get to the DJ thing in overtime in a second because that's a big talking point. I didn't think Colston Loveland had a great game. He had 2 or 3 balls that may not go down as drops, but are plays he should make. Let's just go through the 3 interceptions. The first one, well, it never happens if Odunze catches an easy touchdown. That's number 1. Second one, bad decision, bad throw by Caleb. That's on him. Defense bailed him out. Got to stop. Third one, let's get to it. Overtime. You force OT on this miracle play. Your defense gets a stop, and you're like, oh, my God, they're going to win. They're going to drive down, and they were. They got to midfield, 2nd and 8, just past midfield. Caleb's got all day to throw. Protection holds up, and they run like a post-dagger concept where Rome runs the clear-out post, and DJ, and maybe it's an option route based on the coverage, he runs like this lazy sail route that I don't even know if it should be a sail route, where Caleb is expecting him to flatten it out like a dagger concept, which they run all the time, and that's where he throws it. In front of the defender, he's expecting DJ to be there. If he runs to that spot, it's a catch and it's a first down. DJ drifts upfield, and the safety has leverage on it based on the bad route. He also kind of pulled up on the route. It's like he just didn't think he was getting the ball. And the guy makes a diving interception, which was bobbled like 3 times and never hit the ground, of course, because that's kind of how this game went. And then Stafford makes a couple of clutch throws, and they kick the field goal and win the game. As big as DJ Moore was at times down the stretch this year, and as good of a player he's been overall, I think we've seen enough cracks here the last couple of years. He quits on too many plays. The route running is not always pristine. I go to my Twitter, at HGramNFL. I quote tweeted a Chase Daniel breakdown. If he just flattens the route out, Caleb threw to the open spot in the zone. And DJ Moore, I hate to call it lazy, but like it feels like it's just a lazy route, and he's like, oh, I'm not getting the ball here. I mean, you could tell they showed Caleb on the replay after the pick. He's this close to screaming, and he stops himself. And after the game, he called it a miscommunication. He's not going to bury DJ publicly. DJ Moore made an awful play there, and it cost you. It's about 1 of 6 plays that cost you mightily. Another area that wasn't good was that second to last drive of regulation when you get down inside the 5. Ben Johnson goes run, run, run. Only gives Caleb 1 crack on 4th and 2. Those incomplete. On the 3rd down run on that drive, Odunze, if he just gets a hand on a guy, Swift scores when he bounced it and tried to hurdle the guy. The guy he tried to hurdle, if Rome just chips him at all, Swift walks into the end zone. They just didn't do the little things well in the big moments tonight. And that's what's so frustrating because this game was there to take. It was there to take. I have more thoughts on this game, and then we'll kind of just wrap the season up as a whole. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much. We crossed 155,000 subscribers. Content never stops. Off-season starts tomorrow, so lock us in. Stay tuned. We'll have a morning episode, and then we'll go live Monday afternoon like we always do. Today's show sponsored by PrizePicks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on PrizePicks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and PrizePicks lets you take control. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. If I did Flex Play tonight, I'd make some money, but I didn't. If you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. I had a 3-player lineup, hit on 2 of them, but I went for the Power Play, so no payout for me tonight. Caleb Williams hit the more on his passing yards. Colston Loveland hit exactly half a yard more on his receiving yards, and Puka Nacua did not score. Bears did a good job on him and Devontae tonight, but not good enough. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Look, half glass full. This was a hell of a season. It was entertaining. It was fun. You saw the quarterback grow up and be arguably the clutchest quarterback in the league. The head coach, even if on occasion didn't have ideal play calling, he has set a tone and a standard with this franchise. This was a great year. We all would have signed up for this season. Division title, beat the Packers 2 out of 3 times, including in the playoffs. Go toe-to-toe with a major Super Bowl contender in the divisional round. We all would have taken that. That being said, I think it is also fair to say that this was a missed opportunity tonight. Because, again, the Rams didn't beat you. You beat yourself. You beat yourself. You outgained them. You moved the ball more consistently, more explosives. And you just short yardage was bad. They couldn't convert. The Rome thing to start the game. It's just tough, man. Like, I don't want to call it like some devastating loss, but it's a tough loss, man. You should have won this game. And listen, I'm way more positive overall about the season and excited about the future, all those things. But it's not like the Rams came in and beat you. You had this game, man. If you tighten the screws on a couple things, you might win this game by 10 plus. I mean, really, the defense played great after the first drive. And the offense moved the ball consistently, 417 yards. But the receivers had several drops. You turned it over 3 times. You got stopped on a couple other 4th downs. Should you have kicked more field goals? I'll push back against that because a lot of those decisions were early. Ben Johnson doesn't think he's going to hold the Rams, Dennis Allen, to 17 points. So hindsight's 20/20 on that. But to not convert some of those is just, it's disappointing, man. And that Rome drop and that DJ play in overtime, that's tough. That's tough to accept. The Rome one's just ridiculous. The DJ effort is so bad. I can't even, people were speculating, was he concussed? Well, if he's concussed, why the hell is he out there? You got a bigger problem on your hands if your medical staff put him back in the game. Not even your staff. It's a third party that does the concussion tests. Like, go watch it. I'm telling you. Go to my Twitter, at HGramNFL. It's bad, man. It's really bad. And Caleb was about to snap. He kind of stopped himself. But he threw it a spot he expected his $28 million receiver to be, and he wasn't there. And if he is there, it's caught. You're in field goal range, and at minimum, you're going to have a Cairo Santos field goal attempt for a chance to go to the NFC Championship game. So that sucks. That really sucks. Doesn't take away from the season. Doesn't mean it wasn't an awesome journey. But this game should have been won. I mean, really. I promise you, Ben Johnson isn't sitting at his house tonight saying, well, that was magical. It had to end sometime. No, he's going to say, God, if 1 or 2 of these things just goes our way, we win that game. And you just never know in the NFL. Nothing's guaranteed. I'm optimistic about the future. I think this team has a good chance of being here for a long time. But how many franchises in the NFL are consistently good year in and year out? 4 or 5? Like, that's the next step now. You've built the foundation. How do you make the tweaks you need to with the roster this offseason? And how do you become a consistent winner? That's the next step for this franchise. I think the pieces are in place. You add a few more. Big decisions this offseason, free agency, draft, trade market, etc. But that's the next step. That's the next step. Now you got a target on your back. The Bears have not had that in a while. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle that. But all in all, awesome year. It sucks it ended this way because, god damn, they should have won that game. But it's also unfortunate that fourth down touchdown pass to tie the game wasn't like the latest iconic moment. It was still iconic, but you didn't win the game, so it's certainly diminished in the end. What is your one-word reaction to the season as a whole? I would just say awesome. It was so much fun. Cardiac, certainly a theme of this team. And I can't wait for next year. I'm sad it's over, man. I really am. If you watched this at all this year, thank you so much. It was so fun. Myself, producer Colin, we can't thank you guys enough. I hate that it ended tonight, but I'm excited about the future. I had so much fun doing this year. Season 6 in the books on this channel, and now the offseason begins. Now the work begins for Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, the scouting staff. What's their approach to the draft, free agency, the trade market? Do they make it all in move? Do they kind of continue to stay the course? We're going to find out, and we'll be here for all of it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and thanks again for being here. If you're watching this late at night, that's awesome. If you're watching tomorrow morning, we appreciate it. We'll have another video up in the morning, and we'll be live Monday afternoon. So we'll see you soon. Bear down.